Are you in the market for a compact electric SUV? Well, you are at the right place. This is the VinFast VF7, a flagship SUV from the Vietnamese car maker in India. Now, in terms of size, this competes with the likes of a Mahindra XEV 9e and a Harrier EV. Prices range from 20 to 25 lakhs, spawning 5 trims, 3 states of engine tune and 2 drive option. This has been on sale since September last year, but it's only now that we're getting a chance to put it to the great Indian road test. Welcome to Carandbike and join me as I unravel this mystical machine from the Far East. Now, looks can be subjective, so you can either love or hate a design, but I think most of you would love the way this VF7 looks. It has classic SUV design cues such as a long bonnet, a flat roof and an upright stance, complete with large 19-inch wheels. I also like a little minimalist but well done front end that creates quite an impression when it drives towards you. A VF7 uses a pure electric platform. No fancy name here, unlike many of its rivals, but it's a fairly modern monocoque framework that affords a spacious cabin as well as good ground clearance. Now, in terms of dimensions, it is somewhere between a Creta electric and a XEV 9e. So it's reasonably sized. Now, the only place where it loses out on all its rivals is possibly the height, because it is the shortest in the segment at just under 1600 mm. And a design highlight on the VF7 is its complete panoramic glass roof that comes on 2 of its trims. With a wheelbase of more than 2.8 meters, the VF7 does afford a spacious cabin which is good enough for 5 people. The seats are plush, well bolstered, well angled, and the seat fabric, which is a special vegan material, is also nice to touch and feel and looks like it will have a long life. From a driver's perspective, what you will probably like is the small steering wheel. It looks and feels very sporty. There is a large central touchscreen display that is tilted towards you, so that sort of gives the driver a lot of importance. What's missing though is an instrument cluster. Instead, they've given up head-up display. I'm not sure how many of you would appreciate that. I personally would have preferred a conventional instrument cluster for the driver. A rather minimalist front end. It looks premium but not exactly plush. The finish with the leather, the stitching, the sort of chrome inserts looks nice. A lot of plastics, however, look a little down market. At the front, the driver does not get the conventional gear shifter. Instead, you have toggle switches for drive, neutral and reverse. There's one for park. In terms of creature comfort, there is wireless charging pad. There are 2 USB type charging ports at the front. Cup holders, there's a lot of storage spaces. The hazard button has been moved to the center console, and so is the control for the music system and the touchscreen. The AC is fairly powerful. The VF7 has a fairly long range, which means it's good for long distance travel. For that, maybe the boot space could have been a little better. The only thing is that it has a flat floor, so loading and unloading becomes easier, but it could have been bigger for the size of the car that it is. Now, driving the VF7, let me start with what it offers in terms of powertrain. Now, as you know, it comes with 3 main trims and 3 states of tune for its electric motor. The base variant comes with 130 kilowatt of peak power and 250 Newton meters of torque. The mid variant, which is Sprint, gets an incremental increase of around 20 kilowatt and 60 Newton meters. And the top variant, which is Sky, which is this one, comes with a whopping 260 kilowatts and 500 Newton meters of torque, Why this big jump is because this comes with twin motors. So power is going to the front as well as rear wheels. Acceleration is where an electric really amazes drivers. The base variant can do 0 to 100 in just over 10 seconds, which is quick by standards of ICE SUV. The mid variant, incrementally powerful, comes with a sub 10 meter 0 to 100 time, and the top all-wheel drive variant literally halves that time, so it's really quick. Now you might think that the all-wheel drive version is the pick amongst the three variants, but there is a catch which I will get to when I talk about battery and the range. Now the VF7 is a quick car, but it's also a heavy car. The all-wheel drive version weighs over 2 tons, so there is a calm demeanor about it, the way it accelerates. There is a fair amount of body roll when you go fast around corners, but the lower center of gravity and the weight also means that when you're cruising in a straight line, it's fairly pliant. Suspension is a bit on the softer side, which is great for bad roads, but at high speeds, the ride might be a little choppy. What doesn't help is the steering feel. It is small and looks sporty, but there is nothing really much in terms of feedback that you would expect from a performance car. But for leisure driving, parking, this is fairly simple. While we are at it, I think NVH levels could also be slightly better in the VF7. You can have a fair bit of road noise getting it, especially on cemented roads or at very high speeds. Along with the acceleration, we should also talk about braking, and braking feels progressive. This comes with disc brakes all around, so that adds certain amount of reassurance. It stays fairly stable while decelerating as well. Not to forget, the car comes with level 2 ADAS as standard. Now, VinFast claims that a VF7 can do as much as 532 kilometers on a single charge. That is with the bigger battery, that is the 70.8 kilowatt hour, along with the single motor, which only is available in the wind trim, which is the mid variant. The top variant, which is this all-wheel drive version, has a claimed range which is 22 kilometers lesser, despite the substantial uptake in acceleration and performance. The base variant gets a range of around 438 kilometers, which is still okay by compact SUV standards and at the price point that it operates, which is around 20 lakhs. While the onboard computer currently is showing that the range is holding up as shown, but we need to actually check it out on a longer test drive. Overall, the VF7 seems to be a decent car to drive, although I wouldn't say that this is benchmark when it comes to handling or performance, but it offers a comfortable ride, which means you might be better off sitting behind. Well, let us try that out. Being chauffeur driven in a VF7 is actually a pleasant experience because one is there is a lot of space, the ride is plush, and the seats are well bolstered. There are AC vents at the rear, the cooling seems fine in this Mumbai winter. There are charging ports as well as a dock to keep your phone. Similar to if you're driving the car, there is a fair bit of road noise that is seeping in, and maybe the NVH levels on this car could be a little better. While turning, body roll is also a bit pronounced. 3 people can sit here with enough comfort. The hip room is more than enough. The shoulder room is actually also looking adequate. Leg room for the passenger sitting on the side is more than sufficient, while ventilated seats are only at the front, missing at the rear. But more than that, I'm happy that this rear seat inclines, so that makes for comfortable long journeys. A VF7 comes with 2 battery pack options. The smaller one is a 59.8 kilowatt hour and the bigger one is a 70.8 kilowatt hour. Now the smaller one goes in the base trim, which is earth, and the bigger one to the other trims, which are wind and sky. Charging time, depending on the fast charger that you use, will be around half an hour. The bigger battery can take up to 110 kilowatts of fast DC charging, while the smaller one can take only 100. But because the size is small, the time taken for charging is more or less the same. On the AC charging front, a 7.2 kilowatt charger is standard. VinFast has been here for only a few months, but it couldn't have come to India at a better time. The charging infrastructure is growing, and Indians are finally warming up to the idea of an EV being more than just a lifestyle purchase, but something that you would like to use as a daily commute. And that is better for VinFast because these cars seem to be in that zone of offering something that is practical. The brand is still unfamiliar in India, and more than that, a car like the VF7 needs to compete with bigger, flashier and more established rivals in the same price bracket. The VF7 has some positives and some negatives. It has a good size, good looks, it has a spacious cabin. The interiors could be better in terms of the kind of plastics used. This VF7 is in a sweet spot if you consider the range, the comfort of being chauffeur driven and the space that the rear seat offers. It has some niggles in terms of overall NVH, yet comfortable car makes you want to consider it for the long run. If you want more information on the VinFast VF7, there is an extensive homepage on carandbike.com. Link is in the description. And if there are any questions, leave it in the comments and we'll answer them ASAP. Keep watching Car and Bike.